My spirit trembles as I bring you this urgent message today, beloved children of God. The Lord has awakened me 3 times in the dark hours before dawn, revealing visions so powerful they brought me to my knees. What I must share with you about the final days of January will shake the foundations of your understanding. The Almighty has shown me signs in the heavens that even the skeptics cannot deny. In these last moments before the great deception begins, God is sounding an alarm that will pierce every heart. But before I reveal what's coming, you must understand why this message arrives at this precise moment. Beloved, I stood in my prayer chamber when suddenly the atmosphere shifted. The very air grew thick with God's presence, and He spoke with crystal clarity. My child, tell them what approaches in the final days of the first month. Tell them why the enemy trembles at what I'm about to unleash. The Lord showed me 3 distinct visions that left me speechless. In the first vision, I witnessed a great shaking in the spiritual realm. The enemy's carefully constructed illusions began crumbling like sandcastles before a mighty wave. Those who have built their empires on deception will watch them dissolve before their eyes. But my dear ones, this is only the beginning. The second vision revealed something far more staggering. I saw a great light pierce through the darkness, exposing hidden truths that have been concealed for generations. The Lord spoke, saying, "Watch as I pull back the curtain on the greatest deception of your time." In these final days of January, prepare your hearts for revelations that will challenge everything you thought you knew. The enemy has orchestrated a masterful plan of confusion, but God's truth will shine like a beacon in the storm. I saw technologies of deception being unveiled, beloved. Systems designed to manipulate beliefs and shake the faith of even the most devoted followers. But God's message rings clear. My children who know my voice will not be deceived. The third vision brought me to my knees in tears. I witnessed a divine intervention so powerful it will leave the mocker silent. The Lord showed me how He will use these events to draw millions to His truth, even as the enemy attempts to twist the narrative. My spirit burns with urgency as I share this. In the coming days, you'll witness signs in the natural world that mirror the spiritual battle. The skies themselves will testify to God's power. Those who have eyes to see will recognize these signs for what they are, divine markers pointing to the ultimate truth. But beloved, hear this wisdom. When you see these things unfold, remember that fear is not your portion. The Lord spoke explicitly about preparation, not panic. He's revealing these things not to frighten you, but to fortify your faith for what's coming. I received a specific warning about social media platforms becoming battlegrounds of truth. You'll witness an unprecedented flood of information designed to shake your faith. But God's children will stand firm, anchored in His unchanging word. The enemy's strategy in these final days of January will be threefold: confusion, division, and fear. But God has given me explicit instructions for His children. When you see the signs begin to manifest, remember these 3 divine directives. First, stand firm in your faith when the great deception attempts to sway the masses. The Lord showed me how many will be tempted to doubt their deepest beliefs as shocking revelations surface. But those who know His voice will recognize truth from counterfeit. Second, prepare for a supernatural outpouring of wisdom. In these critical days, God will grant His faithful ones discernment beyond human understanding. You'll need this divine insight to navigate through the storm of confusion that's approaching. And third, while this is crucial, watch for the divine markers. The Lord revealed specific signs that will confirm this prophetic word. When you see unexpected movements in the heavens and unexplainable phenomena that mainstream sources cannot explain, know that God's hand is moving. Beloved, what I'm about to share will sound impossible to the natural mind, but the Lord has shown me events that will unfold in the final days of January that will leave even the most hardened skeptics questioning their reality. I see a great awakening beginning, triggered by events that will shake the foundations of what many believe about our world. The enemy has prepared counterfeit explanations, but God's truth will prevail. In these final moments, I must share the most critical part of this message. The Lord showed me how these events will specifically impact believers who have grown comfortable in their faith. A divine disruption is coming that will separate the lukewarm from the truly committed. Remember this: when you see the signs begin to manifest, do not be quick to accept the world's explanations. The enemy has prepared elaborate deceptions that will seem logical to the natural mind, but those who walk in the Spirit will discern the truth. I see a period of intense spiritual warfare approaching. The enemy will attempt to use technology and mass media to create confusion about these divine signs. But God's children will walk in supernatural protection and discernment. Beloved, in these final days of January, you'll witness attempts to explain away the unexplainable. Stand firm in your faith when these moments arrive. The Lord has shown me how He will use these very events to draw the lost into His kingdom. The spiritual atmosphere is charged with anticipation. Angels are being positioned for what's about to unfold. The enemy trembles as God's perfect timing approaches. What happens in these final days will set the stage for unprecedented moves of God. I must warn you about specific dates. The Lord showed me that between January 21st and January 30th, a series of events will unfold that will leave the world searching for answers. These are not random occurrences, but divine appointments orchestrated by God Himself. Watch the skies, beloved. The Lord showed me signs that will appear, signs that no human technology can replicate or explain. When you see these manifestations, remember this prophetic word. But here's the beautiful part. In the midst of these shocking events, God will pour out His Spirit in extraordinary ways. I see people being drawn to truth as never before. The very things the enemy meant for deception, God will use for awakening. Remember, when mainstream sources attempt to explain away these signs, stand firm in what the Spirit has revealed. The Lord showed me how many will try to dismiss these events with natural explanations, but His children will know the truth. Beloved, I'm compelled to share one final warning. Do not allow fear to grip your heart when these events begin to unfold. The Lord specifically said, "Tell my children that these signs are not for their fear, but for their faith." The time of preparation is now. When you witness these events unfold in the final days of January, remember that God revealed them beforehand through His prophets. Stand firm in your faith, knowing that what's coming is part of His perfect plan. This is not just another prophetic word, beloved. This is a divine warning and a call to preparation. Share this message with those who have ears to hear. The time is short, and what's coming will shock the world. Remember, when you see these signs manifest, stand firm in your faith. The enemy will attempt to create doubt and confusion, but God's truth will prevail. These events are not for our fear, but for our faith. Stay vigilant, beloved. The final days of January will reveal things that will shake the foundations of many beliefs, but those who know their God will stand firm and do exploits. This is not the time for fear, but for faith. Not for doubt, but for determination. The Lord is preparing His children for what's coming. Stand firm in His truth and watch as His perfect plan unfolds. The choice is yours now, beloved. Will you be ready when these events begin to unfold? Share this message if the Spirit bears witness to its truth. The time of preparation is now. Remember, when you see these things begin to happen, look up. Your redemption draws near. Stay strong in faith, firm in truth, and unwavering in your commitment to God's word. This is your watchman on the wall, sounding the alarm. May God grant you wisdom and discernment for what's ahead. The final days of January will indeed shock the world, but God's children will stand firm in His truth. My spirit is heavy with yet another revelation I must share. In the depths of prayer, the Lord showed me something that made my hands tremble. There will be those who attempt to silence this message, but God's truth cannot be contained. I see a gathering storm on the horizon, beloved. Not a storm of nature, but a spiritual tempest that will test the foundations of many. The Lord showed me how this will coincide with unprecedented events in the natural realm. In these final days of January, watch for signs in unexpected places. The Lord revealed how He will use the most unlikely circumstances to demonstrate His power. Even those who have long denied His existence will be forced to confront undeniable evidence of divine intervention. The enemy has prepared elaborate explanations for what's coming, but they will crumble in the face of God's truth. I see a time of supernatural manifestations that no human wisdom can explain away. Beloved, when these events begin to unfold, remember that God has positioned you for such a time as this. Your faith will be a beacon of hope to those lost in confusion. Your steadfast trust in His word will draw others to the truth. The Lord showed me how these final days of January will mark the beginning of a great shifting in the spiritual atmosphere. Those who have ears to hear will recognize the sound of heaven's armies mobilizing. Stand firm, children of God. What's coming will shake the foundations of earth itself, but you will stand unshaken, anchored in His eternal truth. The time of preparation is over. The time of manifestation is at hand.